Question.
Next.
And Rennie, just so you know, you have Barbara, Naima, and Tony present.
Okay. All right. Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, how's everybody doing? All right. Good, thank you. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Carl is absent. He said he wouldn't be here tonight. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started of our Common Council caucus at 7:07 PM. I believe everyone is in attendance. Everyone have their legislation list?
Yep.
Okay, good. We got a chance to read through all of the attachments and the agreements and all that were attached to the legislative look, hopefully. Okay, so let's get started. Resolution number 83. This came out of finance. This is a budget transfer from the planning department, an amount of $6,000 to cover overtime expenses. Sounds self-explanatory, but Rennie, do you think you need to maybe explain what's happening here?
I think it's actually zero.
It is.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah. So
everybody all right with resolution number 83? Any questions? No? Okay. Resolution number 84, this is a transfer from contingency to cover expenses of hiring a full-time clerk in the police department to address the New York State discovery law reporting requirements. And this does have a financial impact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is actually for 8 months of funding to create the full-time salary for this person. And if you've been reading the news lately, you'll realize, you'll know that this issue of reporting is front and center. And so basically the bail laws are requiring so much reporting and work that they're just inundated in the police department. So the idea here is to hire one of their staff full-time in order to be able to handle all of that paperwork.
Michelle?
I'd like to request an adjournment to go into attorney-client session to discuss this matter.
Okay, we have a motion. Michael Oliveri, second. Steve Shabbat. Okay, we're going into attorney-client session. So we're gonna ask that you turn off your video. Please make sure you turn off your sound as well. And then I think Elisa sent the number for us to go into attorney-client session. Gotta find it.
Do we leave? Is that what we have to do? Or do we just stop the video and stop the mute?
Stop your video and turn off your sound. I don't have it yet.
Video.
All right, we're back. Everybody on? Tony, you there? Yes,
There.
okay, great. All right, so we're going to move on to resolution number 85. And this is an internal transfer, looks like, of $17,448.75 in Department of Public Works. There's no financial impact on that.
Correct.
Okay, everybody all right with that one? Yes. Resolution number 86. This also came out of finance, requesting project approval and bonding authorization in amount of $550,000 for the design and construction of sanitary sewer line and related laterals on Port Avenue. Renee, you think we need to speak about that one?
It's another one of the things where, these are the costs we have to pay for these things.
Yeah. Everyone all right with that? Any questions on that one? That was 86. Okay, and 87 is just the bond ordinance for 86. Right? So tomorrow we'll call for a long roll. And 88, resolution 88, question project approval and bonding authorization in an amount of $1,700,000 for costs related to electrical system and dock upgrades at TR Gallo Park and the city marina. The only question I had about this is the number. I thought it was 1.2 million when I looked at the actual resolution report.
We'll get a grant back.
Yeah.
We'll get grant money back. So it'll cost the city 1.2 million, but, or is it vice versa? Vice versa?
We'll be getting FEMA money back. Yes. We're on a guaranteed reimbursement up to about $625,000. So the cost to us.
Oh, so that's it. Okay, so that adds up to.
I have a question just because I wasn't at finance and I didn't get to watch that section of the meeting. I remember we passed some resolution in finances for equipment to fix some of the, was it electrical junction boxes last year?
It's far more extensive than that.
Correct, but this is above and beyond, or is that's still part of this, that equipment?
Yeah, this is way above and beyond.
Yeah, I believe what we fixed before was the system that is on land, so to speak, because it's all on land. But where it's in the park, that box, there were issues constantly happening, where our electrician was constantly there. This is actually the whole system, because there have been times where boats come up and they can't plug in because it's not working, and then we lose places to dock boats. So it's a system that's actually right above the docks. I'm not sure if they're also going to be replacing the one up top, but that's what they were talking about.
Right, so are they gonna repeat work that was already completed?
No, they're not repeating work. And there will also be some attendant dock repair as well in this project.
That's this is in addition to the repairs that they're. Okay.
Well, yeah, and I guess FEMA, John Schultes isn't here, but I guess FEMA said that they won't repair the electric,
Right.
put in the grant monies to help repair
The
the
whole
electric
system needs to be done.
unless the docks are upgraded.
Okay.
They won't do it. And I mean, I walk down there a lot and I've seen multiple times where boats can't dock and have to move places. And if it's busy, then we would have to turn boats away.
So just to piggyback off what Michelle said, so 2021, there were repairs to electrical, but that was more on the actual physical land base. And this one is for all the electrical components and the docks for the actual boaters themselves in the water. Okay. But we did everything we had to do with the 2021 approval. And
That
those,
makes sense, yeah.
okay.
Okay. Resolution 89, that is the bond ordinance for 88. Resolution 90, requesting a 2022 transfer in the amount of $49,000 515, to provide funding for an economic recovery plan project manager. And that's 100% grant funded under the ARPA grant.
Right. This is what we envisioned in our budget negotiations at the end of last year.
Okay. Resolution 91.
I have one question to that, I'm sorry. Is that what
Certainly,
you
certainly.
hear? And has it been determined what department that's gonna be out of, this project manager?
Yeah, they'll be working in the grants department.
All right. I think somebody sat in, I believe Barbara sat in for me for last month in finance. That's why I was in there. Thank you.
Sure. Okay, resolution number 91. This is a 2022 transfer in the amount of $40,136 from Parks and Recreation to the city clerk's budget for a change in personnel. And I believe this is a financial impact.
Yeah, so basically this is just extending this position. If we want to discuss it in detail, we have to go into executive session. But basically just somebody moved from one department to another, and because of that, that department needs to be able to, pay their salary for the full year, which they weren't budgeted for.
So I don't know if we can talk about it here, but so are we essentially taking it out of the budget where it was allotted for and then moving it to that? He's shaking yes.
That's a part of it. It was in the department it was budgeted in, it was only budgeted for a portion of the year. So this is now moving the position to City Hall and including funding for the entire year.
So in essence, it was a part-time job, part of the year job, now it's going to be a full year job.
Okay.
That's the other way to look at it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
All right. 92, requesting a 2022 transfer in the amount of $3,365 to cover the additional expense of replacing the municipal ID machine. Everybody remember that machine?
Yes.
Yes? Are you familiar with this?
No.
So this was something that we've had, I can't even remember which year it was.
2018.
It used to be in the police department.
Yeah, and then they moved it to the clerk's office.
So we heard about that.
It basically it's the machine that makes these cars.
Gotcha.
So when we started this process, they took
Yeah.
the old machines from KPD and put it in the clerk's office to make these,
Pretty spiffy.
but it needs to be, so it was already an old machine in 2018.
Yeah,
And we knew it would come a time to have to replace it, but, I mean, Elise is here, so she could speak on it, but at the finance meeting, she's saying that they're still regularly being requested. So,
Yes, I was just curious, 'cause I didn't know.
don't forget your new one.
Thank you.
All right. Resolution number 93, authorizing amending a bond ordinance dated 12/7/2021 to provide an additional $81,000 in funding for the city's 2022 capital plan.
2021.
Okay, this says 2022.
2022 capital plan, that's right. This is for this.
Oh, okay.
Dated.
Dated, well, it was dated 2021, but for 22.
Gotcha.
Okay,
There's the other one, that's for the 2021 capital plan.
all right, everybody all right with that one? And then resolution 94 is the bond ordinance for that. Okay, moving on to resolution,
What?
oh, you don't have 94 on your sheet? Oh, you know
Oh,
why?
it's on the bigger sheet.
Because 94 and 97 was missing off of the original list, and then Elisa sent a new one out. So you guys probably don't have 94 or 97, if you're looking at the old list.
Okay, it's not following the same, there's something, it's different from the order of things we were looking at in.
But it's on the physical sheet.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's why I'm saying 2021, because I'm talking about something else.
Oh, okay,
Go ahead.
okay. Again, 94 is the bond ordinance. Resolution number 95, to approve the attached memorandum of agreement between the city of Kingston and CSEA unit to add the environmental educator and sustainability coordinator position to the new CSCA salary and grade schedule effective and retroactive to 1/1/2022. Additionally, to approve a 2022 budgetary transfer totaling $5,667 necessary to fund the memorandum of agreement for the remainder of the year. So this had to do with the negotiation and contract negotiations for the CSEA raises, yes?
For one employee, yeah.
This is for one employee. Any questions on this?
Can we just elaborate a little more on this? This is
So
something
we need to-
completely.
It is about personnel,
So,
so we would have to go to executive session if you want specific about personnel, which is fine, we're prepared, you have the number on speed dial. But, just wanted to say that before we went too far and we can't talk in public.
Well, and just to be clear, it's not just generally personnel, it's one specific individual. So if you need to discuss anything in a way that does not identify the individual, you can talk about why maybe it's separate, just because there was a separate negotiation process. But if you want to go into further details about the process, we would have.
Yeah, I don't need to know who, I'm just wondering how this is different from like the stuff that we approved before and talked about before. So
I can do a 2-second and then the person who is signal. So just to ensure that there were no conflicts of interest as were discussed extensively during the budget process, there was a separate negotiation process for one employee. And we had John and outside counsel who looked at the evaluation of the different steps and negotiated to find where the most appropriate step would be for this employee. But it was done separately to ensure that there was no conflict in the negotiation process.
I still have questions, but I guess I don't know.
That's fine. Do you want to go
Yeah.
into executive, we
I'm
can.
sorry, but I just.
Don't apologize. It's fine.
This is why we got professionals here.
So since this is about personnel, which is one of the things that triggers executive session, somebody needs to make a motion and a second.
Motion by Rennie, or is it a question?
No, I make a motion that we go into executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
Second by Michelle. Okay.
Oh, you gotta take a vote.
Oh, all in favor? Okay. Any opposers? No. All right. So please turn your video off and your sound off and call in the number. All right, we are back. If you all will let me know that you are back in session with us. Okay, great. Barbara, are you there? Yes, great. Okay, so we're moving on to resolution number 96.
Picture of a closed door.
This is authorizing, oh my God. Authorizing the adoption of an additional bond ordinance for the sum of $160,000 for the Henry Street Sewer Project construction and inspection costs. No surprise. Any comments or questions on this?
Same story as usual.
Yeah. The maintenance equipment is sitting on the street up there.
Glad it's getting done.
Right. Okay, resolution 97, that is the bond ordinance for 96. Resolution number 98, requesting a 2022 transfer in the amount of $9,000 in the Parks and Rec Department from contingency to cover the increased costs of a pickup truck previously authorized in the 2021 capital plan.
So this is the one that I was speaking about earlier.
Okay.
I got confused with the bonds. Yeah, so this was already, with the money, the bulk of the money for this is already in the capital plan, but it's one of those things where you've got to design the truck, and there were these other issues. So they weren't, and then, problems during COVID and all that. So now they're ready to purchase the vehicle, but the problem is the price has gone up like everything else. So they need $9,000 more. And John Toohey was concerned that a smallish amount of $9,000 is just small to add to the previous bond. So he recommended instead that we take this amount from contingency. So that's the strategy here.
All right. Any questions on that? Thank you, Rennie. Resolution 99, this, to accept the memorializing resolution, urging New York State Assembly and Senate to pass the 7 bills included in the Crash Victims' Rights and Safety Act. And this came out of Laws and Rules, where Rose Quinn, along with President Schultz, introduced this resolution, or this memorializing resolution. The resolution, or the memorializing resolution, was attached. So it was there, and all of the 7 bills are introduced in there. So any questions on this? You want to say anything about this?
Well, do you want to ask a question?
No, I was going to say something.
Yeah, I was approached by Rose Quinn, and she brought this to my attention on how council could support this, so I came up with the idea of memorializing resolution, to just show that we support the 7 bills, although you'll notice in the resolution, I only talked about 6 of the bills, because one of them is specific to New York City. And I didn't feel it was appropriate for us to, we don't have anything to do with that. You could read, and I included the name of each of those bills in the resolution. So I don't know if anybody has specific questions. You were at the meeting, you read it at the meeting, so I don't know if there were specific questions, but just saying we support it.
I was going to say, if anybody's interested in knowing more about this, Farhad Manju had a really good editorial in the New York Times for Sunday, the 24th, talking about precisely these kinds of issues and the need to work to protect particularly people on bicycles. So you want to read any more about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is a good initiative to support. Thank you, Andrew. Resolution 100, to accept the memorial resolution to accelerate, should that be?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's misspelled. Emergency mobilization to restore a safe climate. And I made Rennie introduce this one. Want to talk to us about it, or?
Yeah, this originated with some of my constituents, and we worked on this. And so the basic idea is that while New York State and Kingston have done a lot on this issue, it's urging our elected officials to work even harder to push for more action to save the environment.
Mhm. Okay, thank you. Resolution 101, authorizing the adoption of an additional bond ordinance for the sum of $65,000 for the Midtown Parking Lots Project construction and construction inspection costs. And this is the resolution that was spoken about tonight and tonight's special finance meeting. John Sheltois came and told us about that. Any questions on this? And for, who wasn't, Naima wasn't in that special meeting, right? Do you know what this is about?
I was
talked-
not in the meeting. I was in it towards the last part, but I wasn't in the full screen. I was like as a participant. No, I'm not too sure. I didn't want to, yeah, I'm not too sure what this is talking about, but.
Okay, so this is the 3 parking lots in Midtown. It's the parking lot Cornell Street,
Mhm.
the parking lot by Monkey Joe's, and then the one by the former Sea Deli.
Right, okay.
Okay, and so construction, design and construction will start. I believe John said 3 weeks from the time that this passes. Okay, and they're going to be resurfacing all 3 of those lots.
Okay, and this has been talked about in the past. This is not something, I feel like this is from, okay.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this additional funds or is it just, we're
This
moving, this is
additional
additional
funds. Yeah.
Yeah,
With
I was,
rising prices and,
right, yeah, this was, sorry, yeah, this was on my radar. Actually, I actually talked about this last week. My apologies.
okay. All right, so we're good with 101? All right. Resolution 102 is the bond ordinance for that. Resolution 103, ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Kingston, New York, amending section 390-62, schedule 15, 16, 17, 18 of the city code to change alternate side of the street parking from 8 AM to 10 AM on Prospect Street from Liberty Street to St. James Street. This came out of public safety. Tony, where are you? Did you want to speak about this one, Tony?
Unmute, Tony.
Not really, unless somebody has a specific question. I think it's straightforward, just changing the times, that's it. 2
Yeah.
hours, moving 2 hours back, people to be able to park the cars. Any questions?
No questions? Okay, great. Stay right there, Tony, just in case. We might have a question on some added handicap parking. 104, ordinance amending an ordinance in relation to the traffic on the public streets of the city of Kingston, New York, adding handicap parking on Clinton Avenue. That's self-explanatory, yes? Okay, resolution 105, authorizing the release of the restriction in the deed for 49 Park Street, requiring that the property cannot be sold in the future without common council consent. That was out of laws and rules, and that was just property that the city of Kingston, they owned the property, and then the new owners, they just need to remove the restriction so they can now sell the property.
15 years.
Something like
Past
that.
the,
Okay. Resolution 106 is authorizing an intermunicipal agreement between the city of Kingston and the town of Ulster for shared policing services. It also came out of laws and rules. Deputy Chief Bonds came and talked to us about that. That's just city of Kingston, town of Ulster sharing policing services, and they did send the full agreement.
There's a misspelling there.
Is there policies?
Shared policies should be policing, right?
Shared policing services.
I mean, it doesn't so matter on the legislation, much as long as on the resolution, it's okay. There's several.
Yeah.
Is the
But I
resolution okay?
said, I said policies instead of policing.
What's that policy?
Yeah, I was reading what was on.
Do we know if the resolution is correct?
The resolution, I don't know, we have to check it.
Yeah.
Elisa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm looking for the resolution. I didn't get the resolution until this afternoon, so I'm just looking at it.
Okay, but you'll be able
That
to,
one, number 106
Yeah,
An agreement between the town of Old Spring.
I see a-
and
I see a
Kingston
road
Police
policies.
Departments For
Yeah,
shared. police.
yeah, it's fine, Elisa. Yeah, thank you.
okay, good. Okay, and I think that's it, right? Yay.
Can I just take 2 minutes to go over, see if anybody has questions on tomorrow, because we came up with this system that is
Oh,
a
yeah,
little unique, so I just
so
wanna make.
all
sure
of
we're
us will be
comfortable.
here, yes?
You can or you can participate virtually, but we are going to meet in person, but we still don't have the microphones. We were told a week and a half, a month ago, for repairs, so
Speak
Kyle keeps asking, Kyle's doing an amazing job, but he can only ask for repairs, so. What we're gonna do is kind of like what we did at the last meeting, but it was just me and Dee. You guys will all be there though if you want to, but when you speak, you're gonna have to get up and walk to the podium, which will be, where we normally put the screen during council meetings, not where it is right now, but near the majority leader room. We'll set the podium up there and you would just speak from there. That way the microphone captures you speaking. You guys were all virtual, you heard the public speaking fine, right? So it'll be fine. It's a little nuisance because every time that you have to stand up or you want to speak, you stand up, but I always try and form a queue anyway, so you guys could just have like a physical queue if you want. If you're uncomfortable doing that, then you could participate virtually.
And the public will do that as well?
Public comment will do that for Michael's speech, because Michael has his minority leader speech tomorrow that we've all been waiting for. So that's tomorrow, and we're gonna move him closer to center because he'll have people here, so that's what we both agreed that would be better. We are also bringing back the community award.
Yes.
So Rita, I think I sent all this in an email, so Rita is presenting it to Minuet Dijonette, which is awesome, well deserved.
She's awesome.
So we'll probably, since it's gonna go Michael's speech, then the community award, then public speaking. If it's okay, I think it makes sense to have you go to where Michael's gonna stand, do it there so it's more centered.
Sure.
And then with the hardwired mic, then we'll just have to move the podium.
Okay,
There's gates.
And then, so again, if there's an issue walking over to there, if you're uncomfortable doing that, just tune in virtually, should be no problem. And lastly, but before anybody has questions, I just want to make sure I don't forget to thank John for coming, because I know a lot of you missed the finance meeting. So I wasn't sure if you would have questions, so I asked if you would kindly stay after the special finance. So I just wanted to thank you for being here. Does anybody have any questions on tomorrow's meeting? How that's gonna look or go? Awesome.
okay. Everybody good? Any questions, comments? Want to stay a little longer?
That's what it meant.
Call for a motion. Call for a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Renee, second by Michelle, all in favor? Aye. All right, let's go home. Thank you, guys, we'll see you.
Bye, guys.